Yo, what's up everyone? Today I wanted to talk about stats in Brawlhalla and if they should be reworked or they're fine the way they are. So, me and my friend constantly talk about how bad of a stance dexterity is because for most weapons it's pretty useless. It doesn't really change anything. And we're like, we always try to think of ways to bring dex in line more with other stats. My friend came up with this point, right, of, well, what if Dex actually had it right all along? What if all stats should be minimal and should not really change much, or a lot less at least? And at first, I always do what I do with my friends when they make a good point, is ignore them and call them wrong. But actually, upon thinking about it, there's a lot of characters in the game. For example, Queen Nai, Magyar, Ada. These characters, they're actually not that bad in terms of SIGs, and especially in Queen Nai, her weapon combination is actually pretty good. That's like a stupid. Is actually pretty good. But people don't play them because of their stats, right? It's because Queen Nai is slow and people don't like slow, and dexterity, like the two weapons dex actually affects, she has low dex and it sucks. Ada, for example, actually pretty good SIGs, really good weapon combo. But 3 defense, you can't play her in 2s at all, and even in 1s, it's pretty frustrating. So I kind of started to think, what if they had like a much smaller effect, like stats, right? Like for example, you could either bring every character down to like at most 7 of a stat, or you could just change stats so they do less. Like for example, like 10 speed on Thea. You could just rework this, so that's currently like 7 speed. Like that's the most, that's the highest you can go. And the lowest you could go, let's say like 1 speed, is like 4 speed. So it's not that unbearable. So the game would then, I don't think BMG would want to do this, because then you would have to balance characters who suddenly are like more in line with other characters. Like Ada might need nerfs, Queen Nai might need nerfs, like Jala probably needs nerfs. Like all these characters, they would have to be nerfed because they're suddenly viable because their stats are no longer bad, right? So, and personally, I think it would be better that way to balance off of, hold on. No way that worked. I think it is better that way to balance off of moves than it is to balance off of stats, because Jiro is another really good example. A lot of people, like pro players, top players, will play Jiro. It's because Jiro is actually really good. It's just her stats suck. Lin Fei too. Like Lin Fei would be insane if she had good stats. So, what do you guys think? Do you think like characters should have like their extremes like they currently do? Like you can have 10 damage with Zal and you do a lot more damage, or do you think that stats would be better balanced off, right? Or do you think like characters would be better if they didn't vary like so much on stats? I'm getting destroyed by guitars, which is typical. Why does that work, dude? That works every single time, man. You just charge that SIG and people don't know what to do. Yeah, the reason I'm playing Olgrim is because like he's an example of a character that very much benefits from the system, because since Dex is pretty useless, he gets the best of every other stat that is actually useful. He moves fast, he does a lot of damage, he has a good amount of defense. And it's like, oh, he very much benefits from the system. And characters like Olgrim and even like Nash have amazing stats in like the way that it works now. So maybe Dex should affect... This dude's angry. I'll play a Suri just to make him mad. But... what was I saying? So yeah, there's characters, maybe Dex should actually do a bit more. It shouldn't be so useless, but maybe every other stat should actually, oh, he's trying now. Maybe every other stat should be toned down a bit, just so the characters all feel more in line. Does that make sense? Alright, I'm not gonna bore you with how the rematches went. He won the second one, and I guess I won the third, so... anyways, that's all I had to say, everyone. Let me know what you think. Or don't. I'm not gonna make you, but just let me know, and have a good night.